So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It's a special day because we have, gathered three of our DMCs from Latin America, destination that you usually sell a lot. Huh? We have here David Lee from Cultural Cuba, Cristina Consuegra from Galavanta in Colombia, Henry Rodriguez from Terra Nova, Costa Rica. So I promise a short webinar because I know you're all very busy and I'm grateful you could join us. So we're going to start with David and giving us a short presentation is why he's the best. I know, but I guess you need to know too. And to tell us a little more about this country. So David, your turn.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking some valuable time out of your day to join us. I would be remiss if I didn't start out with, and I don't know if every one of you has seen the news, but it's been an exciting 48 hours for Cuba. So before I jump in to my share my screen and jump into that, I do want to address the situation. For those of you who don't know, on Sunday there was literally an unprecedented level of protest that had occurred in Cuba, unprecedented in the size. There's been little protests occasionally over the years about various topics and things like that. It's not really the case that all protest is completely, discouraged and shut down in Cuba, but it's complicated there. And for this to happen, where literally thousands and thousands of people took to the streets in protest, and not just in Havana, but all across the country, has not happened in over 60 years. It's a big deal. That being said, I do want to make it clear this was largely peaceful protests, considering the number of people and the breadth of the scope of this. Very few people were hurt. There was a lot of calm on both sides. Even when the government came out with their police and that sort of thing, a few arrests were made. Everything is very quiet in Cuba now. But the situation is complex, and it's one of, there are food shortages. They have rolled out their vaccines, but it's been a long time coming, and there's now a shortage of syringes, which makes it very difficult to issue vaccines. The people it's been a boiling situation going on for quite some time. But you know what? There's a silver lining here. This is a very positive situation that there actually is this level of protest in this country, and that right now the measured response from the government is one of calm in dealing with it, and they do recognize that there's a problem that needs to be addressed. So that's as much as I can say about the situation right now. The key thing is, and this is where this is like a vicious cycle, tourism is of critical importance to Cuba. It's the number two part of their GDP, and therefore they need it desperately to come back, but they also need the COVID cases to drop to stop the quarantine to allow it to come back. And that's why, that in itself will help quell the situation going on. So there you have it. I'm gonna share my screen with you all, and I'm happy to answer more questions about that on the chat. I know we have limited time. So
good afternoon to everyone joining us now. I see many of you have just registered. And we are here with David Lee from Cultural Cuba, who will be followed by Henry for Costa Rica, Terra Nova, Costa Rica, and then Cristina from Galavanta.
Yes. Okay, so continuing on real quick, we are a full service destination management company, DMC. We use the word DMC in the sense that we have boots on the ground. We do not outsource. We don't even outsource to the Cuban government. Our headquarters is in Havana. Our guides, our drivers all work for us, concierge staff, everyone. So literally there's nothing in between. The experience that your clients have when they are in Cuba, it's us and their experience, and that's it. We are not just remarketing other people's tours. So quick little sizzle reel for you all. Okay, so why visit Cuba? For those of you who have been, you know this answer, and those of you that sell Cuba regularly, it's easier for me probably to say I don't understand why anyone wouldn't. It's I call it the land of magically talented, artistic, highly educated, warm people.
Mm.
It is really to go there. It's hard to describe it until you see it for yourself. But it's really unexpected. It's really unlike any other location you can go to. And the fact that it's so close to the United States, and even I know there's more than just Americans on this call, but and even so many Americans have not been is also very, very curious and interesting in itself. But you know, you land, you enter this city of Havana, which is like not only traveling back in time, but it's really a European city, both in architecture, in size, the grandiose nature, the incredible, complex, long history, and then you meet the people. And like I said, they have such an emphasis in their culture in the arts. So whether it's music, dance, fine art, it is literally pouring into the streets in the daytime, in the evening. It is hard to talk about it in a mild way, and until you get there, you will just it hits you over the head and doesn't leave you. So there's literally something for everyone. Whether you are a fan of the arts, history, again, architecture, the food. You might be surprised to hear me say it, but the food itself is another reason to go. It's not what it was 5, 6 years ago. They have these small little restaurants that are private, not owned by the government, literally tables in people's homes. That's where the best cuisine is served. Every single meal is also an adventure in itself. So it has so much to offer. That's another reason it's a perfect destination for multi-gen trips, families, in addition to, of course, couples, and you know, the special like destination weddings, milestone birthdays, just something for everyone. Just never a dull moment from start to finish. Uh, our approach, by the way, is one of all-inclusive kind of nature. We set up everything soup to nuts. So it starts with the accommodations. We always provide a private guide, private driver and vehicle, and we have our own fleet of 1950s cars that we utilize full time for our clients. Every single experience, whether it's private musical performances, a photo shoot with an acclaimed Cuban photographer who will literally take you, you know, on a photo safari in off the beaten path neighborhoods, to exclusive private rum tastings, cigar factory tours, you know, cooking classes, salsa dancing lessons. All of these things are part and parcel of what we do, and they're all included in our trips. You literally, like, it's not just book an accommodation and then maybe we'll do this or that or an occasional add-on here or there. No, it's all part of the package. Everything that they see and do and experience during their time in Cuba. A quick word about support for the Cuban people, which is so important. Let me explain that this is not just a legal definition or something that comes from legal from the restrictions that they talk about when it comes to U.S. clients traveling to Cuba. Support for the Cuban people is the entire mission of our business. So whether they have any restrictions and they lift them all tomorrow and there's no embargo, and it doesn't matter if people are traveling from the US or from Europe, support for the Cuban people simply means that it is our goal that the vast majority of money spent on any trip to Cuba literally goes to the people, not to the government of Cuba. That's not our objective. Our objective is to get this to the people that so desperately need it. And that's another reason, one, we don't outsource to the Cuban government, as I said, but we operate as a nonprofit. So everything beyond what it takes for us to put our trips together goes toward community projects that we support in Cuba. A pre-K for disadvantaged youth in Old Havana. That's the picture of the two little kids up above. A dance school and a professional dance company that we support, and a senior center, and there'll be more. As we grow and as we're able to get more people to Cuba, the amount of things that we're able to do, these projects will continue to increase. And we always involve your clients in these experiences while they're traveling throughout Cuba. And for many of them, it is the highlight of their experience. Lastly, quick thing, we are a B2B company. We don't fish in your pond. We're 100% focused on our travel advisor partners. You bring us our best clients, and we want to understand that we support you completely. We have a dedicated travel advisor portal that I encourage, if you haven't already, everyone on this call, go on our website, or we'll follow up with an email with a link to it and your exclusive password. But we will primarily do net pricing because we want you to make as much commission as you can. We take care of everything. If you're an American travel advisor and your clients are primarily American, don't even worry about legal travel, legal schmiegel, all the paperwork, all that stuff. It's seamless. We take care of it all. We're under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Treasury Department. We make sure you don't even have to worry about these things. Okay. That's about as fast as I've ever gone through.
Oh,
something
but it was so complete. Bravo, bravo. One question from Jess. She has a very generous question. She said, is there a way we can help, all of us, to send syringe? Is that even possible?
I'll tell you what, it's complicated, and I'm going to come back on screen. I'll stop sharing. So I will inform everyone. I'm on all of the luxury hospitality feeds, and including going through you, Dominique. And just reach out to us. We'll post things on our website, also on social media, as soon as we know of a way that we're able to literally involve other people in helping. Right now, it's difficult because there's not as many flights as we'd like. Even I have a hard time getting back and forth to visit my team. And normally I live there a week to 2 weeks out of every single month. So we'll see how things transpire. And, it's just, honestly, we've got to do everything we can to get tourism to come back. And I know that's not just in our hands. I wish it was. So I'll stay tuned. Okay. There'll be ways for us to help.
Perfect. I think we're all ready for that. Will be David. You
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That would be a wonderful thing. So we're going to say goodbye, and we'll welcome Henry. As I said, it was first come, first serve in the order of the appearance. So Henry Rodriguez from Terra Nova, Costa Rica, will be our next speaker.
Thank you very much, Dominique. Hello, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this exploration of our beautiful Latin America. I'm honored to be sharing this presentation with our friends from Cuba and Colombia. Such a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this amazing experience. Let me share my screen here. So,
and then if we have question again, sometime I will answer directly, or we can quickly give it to Henry.
Okay, just can you confirm if you have, if you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Well, hello, everybody. Like Dominique said, my name is Henry Rodriguez. I am the Director of Sales at the Inbound Division of Terra Nova Corporation based here in Costa Rica. So greetings from our beautiful green paradise in Costa Rica. It's such a pleasure again to be here with you today. To get started, because we have to do this as quick as possible. And for me, let me tell you, that's very hard, because when I get started talking about the country, it takes a while, but I'll do my best. For all of you who don't know Terra Nova, we have been in business for over 25 years here in Costa Rica. The company started as a very big outbound company, and about 10 years ago, we decided to open up a DMC operation. Our DMC operation basically designs travel experiences in Costa Rica. Everything we do is completely tailor-made. We design experiences here in this beautiful country, and we have an amazing playground that includes beautiful national parks, volcanoes, beaches, amazing guides, fantastic boutique-style hotels, great guides, and a lot of culture, not only in terms of who the Costa Rican is, but also how we live on a daily basis. We will include our gastronomy, our culture, etc. and design something very unique for your clients. And I encourage you to visit Dominique's page, where you will find our profile. So you will see a lot more of the highlights of why working with Terranova, that I am not going to go in depth right now. But basically, like I always tell to my clients, if you want to wear the same dress that everybody's wearing, go to the store and get it. But if you want to wear something designed for you, taking into consideration your height, your body shape, the kind of fabric that you like, the colors that you like, come to us and we will design it for you. It is the best way to put in words what we do. We like to see ourselves as artisans. We handcraft using the different ingredients that we have created along our experience in Costa Rica, and put together a very unique product for you and your clients. To tell you a little bit about Costa Rica, for those who are not that familiar with the destination, um, we're located in Central America, only 51,000 square kilometers, the size of West Virginia in the United States. The official language in the country is Spanish, but there's a very good level of English. People who speaks English around the country. Our population, it's only 5 million inhabitants, so we are quite little country, not only in size, but also in the amount of people. Our government, it's a democratic republic, and we have been for over 100 years. Actually, next year is going to be our 200th birthday in terms of our democratic lifestyle. Something important to mention is that the army was abolished back in 1948. This is a very important fact in the history of Costa Rica, because thanks to that, all the money that the government had to put on an army has been going to education and healthcare, allowing ourselves to have one of the best education systems in Central America, which is free and mandatory. You are supposed to finish high school, and then you decide if you want to continue on with the university. And we have a literacy rate of 99%, which is very big, especially in Latin America. In terms of health, our healthcare system is free and universal, meaning that you can go to a hospital to get anything from a painkiller for your headache all the way up to a heart transplant, and you don't have to give any money out of pocket. We actually get a deduction every month from our salaries, and that goes to our healthcare system. It's one of the strongest, again, in the Americas, and that has been proven throughout this pandemic. As you all know, well, everybody is going through the whole situation in the planet, so this is not a surprise for anybody. But Costa Rica has doing very good in terms of this managing of the pandemic. In the worst part of our peaks, we've had about 60,000 active cases, and if you do the ratio with the 5 million inhabitants, it's really little. In those cases, focus mostly on cities. So finding an active case, it's quite rare, because you come to Costa Rica to be in the outdoors, to enjoy the outdoors, to reconnect with nature, to visit our national parks, our volcanoes, our beaches. So it's the case that finding an active case is quite rare. And of course, all the hotels have been putting into place a lot of different protocols that have been amazing in order to contain this as much as possible. The country actually opened the borders back in December, and we have been seeing an increase on the number of clients coming into Costa Rica ever since. And actually, we had a fantastic June, July period, which is usually the midterm vacation in North America. So we get a lot of clients coming from the United States, from Mexico, and some of them even from Canada, even though they're not supposed to be allowed to travel yet. We are going through a very strong vaccinating process, in which we are expecting to have 75% of the population of the country fully vaccinated by the month of November this year. So, these are important things to mention when it comes to our healthcare system. And also it allows you to have a bigger picture of what the situation is going on, or how the situation is going on in Costa Rica. Unfortunately, we keep on red lists still in the UK, in France, and other countries in Europe. But day by day, the authorities of those countries are realizing that that Costa Rica is actually doing quite well. So hopefully we'll be out of those lists soon. and you will be able to travel to Costa Rica without any restriction from your government on those countries. Um, Going back, continuing with a little background on our country, our economy is based in agriculture. We are an agricultural country. We export coffee, bananas, pineapple. Of course, tourism is a very important part of our economy. Actually, prior to the pandemic, we were number one source of income for the economy of the country. Unfortunately, you all know what happened, but like I said before, we're going back in our feet quite strong and quite quickly. And we also have high-tech industrial parks, which are also very important for the economy in Costa Rica. But let's focus on what Costa Rica is really well known about, uh, really well known for, sorry. Like I said, it's all about nature. It's all about the nature and the conservancy of nature. Costa Rica is actually on the top 20 of the countries around the planet with the most biodiversity. Here in this very little piece of land, you will find 5% of the entire biodiversity of the planet, which is huge for such a small country. We have over 500,000 living species inhabiting this beautiful land. Just to give you an example, we have over 860 bird species, which is huge for, again, such a little country. And of course, there's a huge commitment to sustainability in Costa Rica to keep all this, to conserve it and keep this beautiful green lands and be able to give something back to our future generations so we can take care of nature and give back to it. But Costa Rica is not only about nature, it's also about its people. It's not about us, our ticos, as we call ourselves. We are very friendly, peace-loving, conservative, proud of our democratic traditions. And of course, we love having people in Costa Rica. We love having friends coming over to enjoy our country. And it's very natural. Some of you who may have been to Costa Rica or maybe who have sent clients to our country, you know that actually the level of service is very good, is very high. I dare to say it's world class, but it's something natural. It doesn't feel forced. It's kind of our state of mind. It's our pura vida lifestyle, like we call it, which is the pure life. And we try to get the best out of life, the most positive experiences, and we love people coming over to Costa Rica to enjoy that lifestyle. So for those of you who haven't been, you're more than welcome to come. And for those who have, it's maybe time to come back and see other areas that you perhaps didn't have a chance to explore on your first trip to Costa Rica.
Thank you very much, my dear Henry. Oh, you didn't finish yet. Sorry.
No, not yet. Just a couple more. Here we have some of the different areas that we see in the country. Of course, we can go through them in detail, but as you see, even though Costa Rica is a small country, is very diverse. So you will be able to experience a lot of different locations with rainforest, dry forest, cloud forest, etc., etc. But to give you a better understanding, well, these are some of the means of transportation that we use in the country. To connect all those points that I mentioned before, and some of the airlines that are serving the country right now. This is something very important because our connectivity is back with almost all of the flights that used to travel to Costa Rica. So we have very good connectivity with North America, with South America, with Europe. The actually new flights that we are getting are from Madrid. We're having, as of July this year, we have an extra flight from Envelope. KLM is flying back from Amsterdam, and LATAM is flying back from Lima with all the connections to South America. So connectivity is quite good right now. Right now, only two requirements to enter the country. One is to have travel insurance that must cover $50,000 in hospitalization and $2,000 in hotel accommodations. The good news is, and this is something actually that happened over the weekend, and we are very happy to say, is that as of August 1st, any client who's traveling to Costa Rica who has been vaccinated doesn't need to purchase the additional travel insurance. So this is great news. We are sending out a message to the world saying that Costa Rica is definitely a very safe destination to travel at the moment. And of course, this is an expense that you don't have to worry about anymore as of August if you have already been vaccinated. Second requirement is to complete a healthcare pass, which is something very easy. to complete online, and some countries do request an antigen or PCR test to return back to their countries. In those cases, we handle all the, we put together all the reservations in order to get tested. Let's see a little bit of everything that I'm talking about here, and this is what Costa Rica looks like and what's awaiting for you.
And if anybody has question for Henry before we go to Christina and Colombia, because it's the end of Henry's presentation, I suppose, Henry? Amazing photo. Yes, the kid, it's true. Huh? Thank you very
There
much.
you go. Thank you so much again, everybody. Pleasure to be here today. Remember to connect via Let's Connect 365 whenever you need to make an appointment. And Dominique, back to you.
Thank you very much, Henry, for the beautiful presentation and video. Now we are going to Colombia with Christina from Galavanta. So Christina, if you want to share your screen, and let's go. Another beautiful country. Yeah? I mean, I can't wait to go to all of your countries as well again. Costa Rica, been Colombia as well. I'm waiting for David for Cuba because that's definitely something. And
Can you guys see my screen?
yeah, but since I've done webinar with you, Christina, and you, Henri, there are, you know, it's not because you go to one part of your country, the rest is magnificent. And you're like, wow, so much to see, huh? So much to see, and so close to the US or the rest of the Americas. Huh?
Exactly. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Super. So thanks, Dominique. Thanks, everyone, for being here. My name is Christina. I'm from Galavanta, DMC in Colombia. I will be extra quick so you guys can head out to lunch or dinner or the apéro for you, Dominique. So we started about 7 years ago with the objective of being extra creative. We want to do ungoogleable experiences. We want to go beyond the ordinary. We've created all our own experiences, and that way you don't find the things that we offer you and your clients online. We always try to do that extra touch, that extra privacy. And for us, it's a lot about the experts. Colombia is about the people. And for us, experts is not the traditional guide. It's people who can offer a different level of depth and a different level of passion. And that comes through, whether it's a chef, a historian, an anthropologist, an art curator, or just a guy from the neighborhood who didn't finish high school, but he's extremely passionate about his culture and his history. We want to go off the beaten path. Yes, some of the classic destinations are cool, but we have to find different ways of doing the non-touristy stuff. Or taking a touristy spot and finding a different way to make it more exclusive and private. This is a great example in Cora Valley, where we found a private hacienda in the back of the valley and created this beautiful picnic to give our clients a different version of this classic destination. But also going beyond the ordinary. So why stick to the traditional destinations? Let's go beyond. Let's take helicopters, planes, or drive a few extra miles and go to those places where tourists don't usually go. And that's where we come, our extra insider, our extra knowledge of the country is very important, and having access to these very special places. This comes in, is very particular in cities such as Bogota and Medellin, where getting access to special ateliers and places makes our local presence very important. And private villas, today more than ever, for families, groups of friends, it's very important for us to have villas, but with certain levels, hotel level standards, and totally customized service. When your clients are in country, we have a great team on site who are doing reconfirmations, who are in touch 24/7 and give you that peace of mind, because you want to know when your clients have landed, when they're with the guides, when they've reached the hotel. You want to get photos and updates and know that your clients are happy, and know that you have a team here with us that are constantly monitoring those clients and ensuring that everything's going smoothly. And obviously conscious travel, we're all about giving back to the communities, supporting locals, sustainability. So we can talk about more about that when we have more time in another webinar, but to let you know that we're very conscious. So why Colombia? I know that some people say, but Colombia, it's dangerous, what's happening? Protests are over. Yes, there's minor protests going on in places like Cali, but the country is back to average. I'm here in Cartagena. The streets are clear. There's travelers. We are receiving clients. We did reach a not very interesting peak in COVID cases, but that's already in a decreasing trend. So things are opening. The country's open. No PCR tests are required, and it's a very exciting country. And it's at the tip of South America. And the great thing about Colombia is that it's extremely diverse. And that's what basically you have many different countries inside of one. So I'm going to take you through a very quick brush through of what you can see in Colombia. You have 5 regions, and we're going to start with Caribbean coast. Oceans, beautiful UNESCO World Heritage sites like Cartagena's Old City, incredible mountain ranges. You have lush jungles with rivers and wildlife. You have beautiful beaches to go surfing and relaxing, incredible deserts. And this is just the Caribbean coast, one of the 5 regions of Colombia. You can stay in beautiful colonial hotels that are grandiose, boutique properties in Cartagena, for example, beautiful little private villas in the jungle, and also eco hotels along the coast. You have incredible diversity of cultures, from indigenous communities to Afro-Colombian communities and Hispanic descendants, obviously. You have great water sports, so from scuba diving to private speedboats, surfing. Places like Cartagena have a fascinating nightlife, so rum tasting. David, I know you did the rum tasting here in Cartagena with us, going salsa dancing, learning about the music. We have an incredible gastronomic scene. Colombia has the highest diversity of fruits and vegetables in the world. So you can imagine this paired with incredible cultural diversity gives birth to a very rich gastronomic heritage. And then moving on to the Andes Mountains, completely different region. And as you can see, it's not that far apart. So for example, flying from Medellin or Bogota to Cartagena, it's just 1 hour. And you can go from very different worlds. And it's like, again, it's like I always say, traveling to Colombia is like traveling inside many little countries inside of one. So you can go to beautiful cities like Medellin, which are very, thriving and exciting and cosmopolitan, beautiful colonial towns up, far away in the Andes that still preserve their, their original culture and way of life. And, for example, the architecture is perfectly preserved in these beautiful towns like Barichara, colorful towns on the other side of the Andes, and like this one, like it's called Salento, and Pijao. And when you see a region like the Andes, just because all the towns are not going to be the same. Each town has its own identity. Each a sub-region has its own culture, a way of life, gastronomy, architecture, a musical rhythm. So that's why Colombia is so diverse. You can stay in beautiful haciendas, like one of our favorites, Hacienda Bambusa. Stay at beautiful hotels like the recently opened El Cielo Hotel in Medellin, which is extremely cosmopolitan. The owner just won a Michelin star at his restaurant in Washington. So incredible gastronomic experiences, and also architectural heritage sites like the Four Seasons Casa Medina. Additionally, in the Andes region, in cities like Bogota and Medellin, and even small towns like Barichara, you can find amazing gastronomic experience, whether it's going to a market, private dining experiences, molecular coffee tasting. There's really exciting things going on in Colombia in terms of gastronomy. Beautiful museums where you can learn about whether it's anthropology, archaeology, history, or art. The art scene is thriving, and this is going beyond the museums, so going beyond the traditional touristy sites and getting that insider access to the unbelievable art galleries, visiting the artisans and artists in their ateliers, getting access, for example, to this incredible street art scene that is very present in Colombia as well. The fashion and design scene is incredible. And again, it's going in with the fashion experts, visiting the designers and getting that local insider knowledge that people crave when they go into cities like Bogota and Medellin. And moving on to the countryside, there's incredible experiences in the countryside in the Andes, whether it's going to the coffee plantations. Colombia has the best coffee in the world. So you have to do one of those at some point. Unbelievable trekking in different types of altitudes, adrenaline sports such as paragliding, zip lining, whitewater rafting, mountain biking, which is really exciting. You know, the Colombians are really good in biking. If you have been recently watching the Tour de France or the Giro d'Italia. And then moving on to Los Llanos region. This is our third region, and this is on the eastern plains of Colombia. Again, very different. You have an extremely different culture. These are the Llanero cowboys, and going and visiting them is going and seeing them horseback riding barefoot, herding cattle and singing their chants. Their chants were actually declared an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. So going out riding with them and seeing the incredible wildlife that this region can offer us. It's an extension of the Amazon. We have over 600 species of birds, mammals, jaguars, pumas, giant anteaters. It's a fascinating region. And lastly, fourth, Pacific coast. Beautiful strip of line along the Pacific, very different in the Caribbean, totally untouched, incredible wildlife such as the humpback whales, and fascinating cultures such as the Afro-Colombian cultures and the indigenous communities that still inhabit this really fascinating area. And lastly, the Amazon rainforest. This is the third of the Colombian national territory. It's giant and largely undiscovered to this day. So what about the Amazon? In the Amazon, incredible wildlife, and again, fascinating cultural indigenous communities. So as you can see, guys, I have 30 seconds left, and I just gave you a very, very, very superficial overview of Colombia, and to show you the diversity and how exciting it is. And we can explore this really exciting country in the utmost comfort and safety. It is a safe country, guys. We have had incredible travelers coming in. We have multiple families traveling the country as we speak, not just from the US, but from different parts of the world. So I invite you to message us if you want to speak more in depth about our country, learn more about it, and learn more about what we have to offer. Thank you, Dominique, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Christina. I mean, you three of you did wonderful. I'm very proud because you have a lot to show. I think for me, I can say those three countries are year-long destination, which is amazing. Some destinations are not, but the three of you are, and that's definitely a great asset. Jess, you wanted to know if the video that Henry showed was available. Henry, you will be sending the video to everyone. I'll send the recording to everybody so you don't receive 3 emails with the recording. And then I will ask each of you maybe to send your own material to our attendees. Let's do that. All right. So I do not see any more questions. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today, and to our 3 speakers. You know that you can join them, as Henry mentioned, on Let's Connect 365. So you can take a private Zoom with Christina or David or Henry at your own time. You have their agenda right there every month, and we're going to continue all year long. I think everyone's love it. So why not? You can also see what you have missed in the past or what you want to review on our YouTube channel, the Dominique Debay YouTube channel. And you have fantastic webinar from all these countries on a much longer version. So David, Henry, Christina, I don't know if you have anything to mention before we say goodbye, but thank you again for your participation. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, bon dia. And
gracias.
It was really nice to have you all, and I love you.
Gracias.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.